Players, and here's Ty Davies. Ty,
Yes, sir.
can you believe you're a state champion?
What?
Is this I mean,
What just happened, John Beltran?
this is unbelievable. In dramatic fashion again, rallying from two deficits.
Yeah, there's no other way, right? I just, I really believe that this group is the greatest football team that this town has ever had. There's no Division I athletes, there's no NFL athletes.
Right.
This group, the seniors from the time I took over and were freshmen, John, have done literally everything we have asked them, and they have earned this today, and they deserve this today. And I just, what better group to represent our community than these young men this year? It's phenomenal.
I think you make a great point, Ty, because the last time Fort Morgan won a state championship was in 1999. You've got a Division I athlete in Joel Dreesen, Dusty Quick, who became Colorado's all-time leading rusher. That was a phenomenal team. This was a phenomenal team, but like you mentioned, you're not talking about Division I blue-chip athletes. This is the definition of what team is in the dictionary.
Yeah, and I in no way, have taken away from those groups.
Right.
No matter what you do, you have to be amazing, and that's what all those teams were. Watching those guys, they're just like this team, man. It's hard nosed and never quit as it gets. You got to recognize a little bit that I think the odds were stacked against this group a little bit, and they just like laugh it off. I mean, they don't. Some of these games, I'm looking at the other side, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and our kids just don't even recognize it, and they just go play football, and it's just been unbelievable, John.
Could you believe, Ty, how resilient your football team was? Fernando Marquez banged up, Briggs Wheatley banged up. There were multiple players. They took shots, and they just kept coming back and back. And at one point, we thought there might have been a concern with Briggs because he was losing his mark and right with the handoff and
100%.
tackle. But for some reason, he came back on that final drive and was on the mark. Is it explainable?
It's not. To do this, special things have to happen, and I just like half of our football team is like on one leg right now. Braden Fajardo has a broken finger that he refused to have surgery on, and then separates his shoulder last week and comes out. And I thought maybe he was borderline with Frank, maybe player of the game, on offense. Briggs can't feel a football. His other hand is freaking ballooned up too.
Right.
Earlier in the year, he's got fluid in his chest, and it's just Warriors. Fort Morgan Warriors, man.
Unbelievable. You were 0-3 in the playoffs before this year. Then you had to learn to win in the playoffs. You did that a couple of times. You won a dramatic game on the road, and now you've won 4 consecutive games in your 4th year as the head coach for you personally. And talk about the coaching staff as well, because obviously you can't do it by yourself, but you have such an incredibly strong, academically adept coaching staff. These guys are prepared all the time, and it just speaks to the leadership of this Fort Morgan Mustang football team.
Yeah, John, our staff is make me cry here, buddy.
Take your time. We got all day at this point. I don't want to leave.
They, they're great football minds, but that's not why we won today.
Right.
Coach Langford, all the way down, we love these boys, and it shows when you're in the halls and they see Coach Blood, Coach Tanner, Coach Drew, my sister, Coach Craig. It's those boys know that their coaches love them, and I think that's why all the extra stuff, kids know it's more than just football with our coaching staff. When you start with that, John, the weight room starts to take care of itself. The commitment starts to take care of itself. The X's and O's, it takes care of itself. And then you have a culture with these coaches of family. And it just, honestly, it's probably meant more to us today than it did the Mead Mavericks. Because we got a family. We weren't going to let their family down, John.
Final thing, Ty, tell me about yesterday. That's a special day, man. You got a pep rally, you got a send-off. You're at Joel Dreesen's house for lunch. That's a big, special day you had yesterday, which I think had a lot to do with today.
100%. I don't think I have any more tears, John. I'm kind of an emotional guy, as the boys know. Man, we're trying to.
Water bath, but we're still in the air. The equipment is still working. Like I said, you're an emotional guy. I didn't know we saw that coming, but hey, if you have more water, you can drench me.
The pep assembly, the videos. We're trying to leave town. I can't even hardly see to drive to Suburban. I'm crying so much. Everybody's out on the streets. All the police, all the fire. It's just, we get to Joel's house. He's so fired up that we're there. Has it all planned out. He feeds these kids. We watched the 1999 highlight tape, and he pauses it right at the end when they're all holding up the state championship. And he basically, I'm not really going to say everything he said, but it was so heartfelt. And he basically told those young men that he played 9 years in the NFL, played at CSU, and playing in high school and winning a state championship meant more to him than anything else that he had done. To hear those things and just to be a part of it, it's surreal. And I honestly was so busy this week. I think I told you earlier, it almost helped me. I was just like task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, and the magnitude never really got to me. God, I hope by tomorrow or Monday I can just soak this in.
Well, we're being told there's going to be an escort into town tonight. How's it going to be tonight into Fort Morgan? You think you have enough emotion now? That's not going to stop, Ty.
Yeah, this town deserves it. These kids deserve it, and I am looking forward to taking this trophy back to Fort Morgan. It's going to be a great time tonight.
Ty, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for covering our young man, brother. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. That's Fort Morgan head football coach.